Of the Community Redevelopment Agency. I'm calling the meeting to order. We need a roll call.
Chair Carney,
Here.
Vice Chair Burns,
Here.
Deputy Vice Chair Markert,
Here.
Commissioner Casal, and Commissioner Long.
Here. Great. Approval of agenda. Are there any items to be pulled or subtractions, additions? Nothing? Nope. Then I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Vice Chair Burns,
Yes.
Deputy Vice Chair Markert,
Yes.
Commissioner Casal,
Yes.
Commissioner Long,
Yes.
and Chair Carney.
Yes. All right, we are, the first regular item that we're discussing was public comments on agenda and non-agenda items. So if you have any comments on the items we discussed on agenda and non-agenda items, please come to the lectern, give your name and address. You will each have 3 minutes.
Hi, Carter Van Horace, 770 High Point Boulevard North, Apartment C, Delray Beach, Florida. I have kind of a question that I'd like to ask that I didn't ask at the last meeting. As the CRA is moving through developing each of these little sites, are they doing the community development agreement that would ordinarily be required as part of an RFP for developing those sites? Or are they creating those agreements for each of these individual developments?
Well, I don't normally, we will take that under advisement and get back to you on that, because we don't
Thank you.
normally, this during comment section. Any others? No comments? Great. We have the agenda, to look at the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
One item, and it really has to do with the, we'll take them out of order. It's just, I wanted to make sure that the,
Wait,
this-
are you on the consent? Are you pulling something?
no, I'm not pulling
Oh.
anything. I guess on the approval of the agenda, I may want to go back to that, reopen that, because I'd like to make the Historical Society go first, because they have an event right after here.
Yeah.
So if there was no objections, is that okay? We're going to amend that.
Go for
Okay,
it.
that's fine. So then I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Deputy Vice Chair Markert,
Yes.
Commissioner Casal,
Yes.
Commissioner Long,
Yes.
Chair Carney,
Yes,
and Vice Chair Burns.
Yes.
great. And now new business, right?
Yes.
You want to introduce the
Yes, I will. So, Renee Jadison, Executive Director, Delray Beach CRA. So this is the A-Guide presentations for this fiscal year. Typically, we do these presentations before the agreements are approved. They were approved at our last meeting, but just with some scheduling conflicts we had, we wanted to make sure all of the board members are here for the presentations. So we are doing it after the fact. So just so you know, the agreements are already signed. We're already moving forward. This is just the groups wanting to showcase what they've done over the year and come in and tell you what they're going to be doing for going forward. It is a nice opportunity just to dialogue with our nonprofit. So we do have all of the groups here. I know they love sharing all this information. And as the chair mentioned, we would like to have the Delray Beach Historical Society come up first, because they do have an event shortly. Thank you.
It's very nice of you. Thank you. And I'm days away from cataract surgery. I can't see any of you right now, so bear with me.
but consider yourself blessed.
What? Okay. Oh gosh. You help?
So click for you?
I'll try to click. But how do I get to the? Oh, that I didn't realize that was my first
You have
slide.
an advance button right there. So
The middle is the advanced. Yes. Thank you. Good afternoon, CRA team and city commissioners. I'm Winnie Edwards, Executive Director of the Delray Beach Historical Society. Thanks for inviting us here today to share our contributions over the last year and to take a look at our future. We've proudly been partnering with the CRA for 17 years, not only through award-winning preservation projects such as saving and creating a new and important use for our historic cottages, but also we've built programming together to elevate civic and social connectivity, inclusion, and a sense of pride, community, all together. Thank you. This is also our 60th anniversary, and we're proud of our growth, and we don't take for granted at all how blessed the community is that our predecessors, along with the CRA and the city leadership, and many preservation-minded citizens determined how important saving our history was many years ago. Today, the Historical Society is a vibrant center for education, research, and community life, bringing together families and multiple generations of all backgrounds and interests. It bears repeating that heritage tourism is an important part of the Florida tourism industry, bringing nearly $7 billion into the Florida economy. Investing in the protection of historic places and the legacy of cultures that create them produces positive and measurable results for the local economy. Thank you for your financial support and believing in our mission. We are utilizing your financial support wisely as an investment in protecting and sharing our history for future generations. Today, let's start in the heart of the Historical Society, which is the archive. I'm so pleased to reintroduce you to Kaylee Howell. She's here today. She's in many of the slides. And our archive coordinator, Tom Warnke, who many of you know is the executive director of the Surfing Florida History Museum. So I'm proud to have them here today. This year, we saw many new exciting accessions from Delray families, businesses, the Chamber of Commerce, and many others. Our history blogs are becoming more frequent and popular. We have covered topics such as local fishing, historic districts, agricultural routes, our golf club history on several occasions, the history of Old School Square, a close look at the influence and impact of Mayor Catherine Strong, the history of the Amato Colony, Lake Ida, history of the beach, and much more. Our research requests are increasing with frequency as Delray is changing rapidly. We're happy that historical perspective is being embraced as a vital part of progress. We're excited to continue our partnership with the city filming the series This Place Matters. We have purchased a new scanner and new software to aid in digitizing. One of the most important accomplishments this year has been the reorganizing of the contents of the archive utilizing professional standards to understand all that we have. I can't underestimate the importance of that and how hard this team has worked in accomplishing that. We have over 150,000 items in the city archive, all for more easier and efficient access to serve the community. We're also continuing to work on our Historical Backroads documentary series available to view on our YouTube channel. The history of Quezon Cottage will be debuting in a couple of weeks as the cottage is turning 100 this year. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah. One of the most proud accomplishments this year was the launch of our newest exhibition called Land of Sunshine and Dreams, the history of the 1950s and the 1960s in 2 buildings. The exhibit includes over 150 rare and archival images and stories depicting this fascinating and complex decade in our history, nationally and locally, plus a multimedia station, a movie theater, and many surprises as you tour through the cottages. We welcomed school groups participating in the Palm Beach County School System's Community Experience Program. We presented local history off-site at schools, community centers, and social groups. For many of our on-site tours, we're integrating a tour of our exhibits, a specialized class, and a tour of our educational heritage gardens. Our Heritage Lecture Series is rapidly growing in vitality and popularity. Not only do we have expert historians right under our roof, but we're also working more with Florida Humanities to attract well-known authors and historians. Our interesting lineup this past year included topical themes such as the history of hurricanes, how the Beatles rocked Florida, the history of lore of seashells and the fate of our ocean, the influence of Marjorie Stoneham Douglas and Rachel Carson, the ancient history of South Florida and Palm Beach County, women's influence and contributions in pioneering Delray. And we added a movie screening and discussion honoring the life of Zora Neale Hurston and how Florida informed her life and writing. Our garden lecture series with our partners at the Swenton Community Growing Project has flourished too, with a series of sold-out educational events. We also held nature and art workshop for all ages and welcomed the Achievement Center kids for a garden tour and a Christmas party. We're happy to bring back the Fall Fest, and with over 600 in attendance, a Delray tradition now for 8 years, plus Twilight in the Garden, partnering with 9 local restaurants. We created pop-up exhibits. Something happened to my... I messed up. So sorry. I know, I'm so sorry.
Boy, we're really
Okay.
moving this agenda along. That's
I
great.
know, I blame it partly on my inability
Ready
to
to
see.
adjourn?
I messed up. Our unique, we participated, we did pop-up exhibits for art and jazz, the Delray Fair, National Historic Preservation Month. We created an exhibit called The 100 Years of Sam Ogren, the father of Delray architecture. Thank you for putting my slide back. Thank you. It's way back, like 3 slides. The Society also participated in Chambers Leadership Delray and the city's Climate and Art. We supported our partners at the Institute for Regional Conservation, hosting their Do Good Delray event on our campus. We also partnered with Community Greening twice for their tree giveaways. We continued with our Wise Elder Circle and have grown our Cottage Book Club and held our fun and popular Nature and History Summer Camp. Our unique downtown heritage garden is becoming its own destination. Oh, gosh darn it. What we have ahead.
You still have time.
Okay.
Presentations are 7 minutes. Just
So the garden is really cool. I have a lot to say about it, but it just really is. It's cool. I don't want to read the whole paragraph, but we're so happy because the garden is starting to really come into its own, and the habitats are mirroring the history that we tell in our exhibits indoors. So it's really become an outdoor classroom. Other campus projects included installing new interior and exterior lighting, and we built a wonderful and essential garden shed. So what's ahead? Of course, our Land of Sunshine and Dreams 1950s and 1960s exhibit is going to be up all year. We're going to do a couple of pop-up exhibits. Our Historical Backroads docu-series will continue. We've got digitizing and organizational work to do in the archive. Our garden lectures workshop, off-site presentations, children's programs, the book club, and the Elder Circle will continue. We're doing something new this year, starting in January, History Happy Hours. We're going to pick 4 different locations in Delray. We're going to give a small 7-minute lecture on the history, starting with the Colony Hotel, and it's a happy hour. We can gather and have food, and we're going to do a little fun thing. The first one is on Prohibition and the history of the Colony Hotel. We have a huge birthday bash coming up, Tom, on November 9th. Everybody here is invited. We have a holiday membership party and Twilight in the Garden, and we're hopefully going to be participating in more city events. In February, we're working with the Preservation Trust on a program called Legos Build Delray. This is really great. Some of you may have heard about this, but we're going to be in the historic field house and pick several of the historic buildings in Delray, and we're going to build them out of Legos. And so it'll be like an exhibit that people can view. The garden and partnership with our nonprofit friends will continue. I'm going to skip over a lot. I'm so sorry. Our missions align for many, many reasons. I don't know if you can go back a slide. How we do it. And this is important. I wanted you to know that we're a very hands-on organization. We create, design, build, and produce all of our events, programs, and exhibits in-house. We manage our marketing, PR, graphic design, and social media in-house. We fund, maintain, and work in the garden each week and are diligent about our lease agreement and taking care of all the interior maintenance and repairs, janitorial services, security, utilities, and insurance for all 3 cottages. We've set our budget at $470,000, 4% increase from last year. We raise over $290,000 through grants, sponsorships, donations, memberships, and fundraisers, and we're respectfully seeking a funding level of $100,000 for the coming year, which is 21% of our operating budget. Thank you so much for your funding this year. Happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions from anyone? Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure. It's a pleasure. We love it. All right, sorry about this.
Will the Arts Garage, I guess, be next? Yes?
Ready?
She's loading you up on there. So, oh, there you go.
Would you take one and pass? Okay, thank you. Okay, I am not good with devices, but looky there. I don't know how to start the video. Marjorie Waldo, Arts Garage. I think you all know me because I'm extremely loud. I have been, as of today, almost exactly today, the president and CEO for 8 years. Today we have several board members here. If you'd stand and take a bow or take a wave or whatever. There were supposed to be like 8 others. So I hope they're watching. But the next group, these board members are volunteers. They have really worked hard to help us increase our funding after the governor vetoed the arts and culture budget. So they've done an incredible job and they need a raise. So we'll give them 10%. So look at my team. Would you stand if you're part of the Arts Garage team? You have marketing, front of house, administration, you have it all here. And it's about half or a little more than half of our team, and that's how we do all the events that we do. How do we make the video play? I didn't know how I just
as
did
you were
that.
talking.
Oh dear. Oh, yeah, thank you. If you'd watch this. Can you make it louder? It's supposed to be fun.
so we're selling out about 50 to 65% of our shows every year, and we've made a dedicated effort to do more tourism, which doesn't just drive traffic to Arts Garage, but also to the city as part of our partnership with you all. We are dedicated to the city and to our community, and that's reflected in the way our goals touch the CRA development plan's goals, redevelopment plan, economic development, recreation and cultural facilities. And it has been a pleasure to work with Renee, Alexina, and Lori, Janice, and Gina. Although Gina, my gosh, over the last 8 years, she's the money one. She asked a lot of questions. Okay, so now, yeah, you did good. Wait, no, how do I, there. Whoa. Okay, I can't. It should be slide 3, but that's the right slide, I think. Programs, services, and activities updates. Over 319 events. This past year, 54% sold out. Almost 30,000 attendees to all of our events. Over 775 paid professional performers. Almost 800 locals who are during our open mics, arts education students. We give out about 50 grand in free tickets, and a lot of community partners. Do you mind? Thank you. Okay, so I decided not to focus on photos. I decided to focus on bang for your buck. So last year, we produced about $4 million in economic impact in the city. That includes a very conservative calculation of $40 per person. We do a poll on our ticketing website, and out of all the people that say that they spend money before or after, I averaged it at 40. I've never been able to go out for 40, but maybe I'm just high maintenance. So we're making a lot of money for the state, for the county, and for the local municipalities, the city, and our partners like the Hyatt Place. Please. More bang for the buck. I want to mention some things here that are not necessarily there. We're doing a lot of things on social media, and I watched the DDA's presentation. I wanted to add a few things. Over 790,000 Google impressions or times our content was displayed. Over 1,200,000 unique users have seen Arts Garage content on Facebook and Instagram. There have been over 22,660 clicks on our Google ads and 24,900, more than that, interactions on Facebook and Insta. Our request for this year is 14% of our budget, and I always try to make sure by the end of the fiscal year it's a little less. I don't know what it is in 23-24. I think it's going to hit close to 14, but the year prior it was only 12. All of the money you spend on Arts Garage goes into performers' pockets. It goes into paying for lodging at the Hyatt Place. It goes into photography and videography to produce things that bring people to Delray and to Arts Garage, and to sound and light tech, which is absolutely essential for shows. Okay, next one. All right, so our updates. So I'm going to go fast. I timed myself this time, and I've got plenty of time, so I'll slow down. All right, so Naja Hardman, our art curator, has implemented the Black Box Gallery, which is in addition to our current gallery or prior gallery, Marshall Family Foundation Gallery. The Marshall Family Gallery showcases very emerging artists who've never had a solo show. The Black Box Gallery is really targeting solo artists, maybe a group show, but they're a little bit more elevated in their progress towards making money at their craft. We have showcased 250 artists since 2017. We had over 35,000 visitors and $62,000 in sales since 2017 in the gallery alone. Our Artist in Residence series launched in September. Kelly Rents-Brunel is the brain behind that project. It's funded by the Cultural Council for the Palm Beaches Cultural Arts and Education Fund. So far, we've done African storytelling with Baba Leon at Parks and Rec in an after-school program. It's an 8-week series. We did a performance and talkback with acclaimed jazz vocalist Nicole Henry for Pompeii and Boynton Beach seniors. And we're going to do even more. We've got a bunch of volunteers, about 100, a little more than 100, who donate about 10,000 hours each year. Last thing, I swear. Family series fully funded by the Kimmel Family Foundation. We launched it in October with Show Up Kids, which was interactive magic and theater. And we will continue that series all year, live music and theater performances for children 3 to 12-year-olds and their families, and 2 field trips for schools to the venue to see a show at our place. And that is it, except for a huge thank you for the money, for the support, for years, the entire time I've been here.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the group? Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Was the monetary requests, are they the same? Because I'm just looking at the funding request. Is that
Yes.
the,
Yeah,
okay.
they are the
I
same.
wasn't sure if any of them had changed when we see the first slide.
Okay.
Thank you. No, I wasn't sure. I just wanted to ask. Thank you very much. I appreciate the presentation.
Community Land Trust.
Good afternoon, Commission and staff. I am Evelyn Dobson, the CEO of the Delray Beach Community Land Trust. Our affordable housing program services aligned with the CRA's mission and goals within the target area. And within the target area specifically, it is to provide affordable housing, the removal of slum and blight, and land use. And the Delray Beach Community Land Trust has been a recipient of support from the CRA to address the overall needs within the target area. And those needs are to further the growth of our affordable housing program services, expand opportunities for homeownership and rental housing, development of infill and scattered sites, upgrade and enhance existing housing conditions. And one thing I did not add on the slide is revitalization without displacement. That is one of the things that got us started. From the support you see on the slide, our homeowners at the closing table and our homeowners at the bottom opening their doors for the first time as new homeowners in Delray Beach. We collectively provide affordable housing mainly to very low to moderate income households. And through our program, we provide several opportunities, which is homeownership, rentals, and lease purchase. We have been operating since January of 2006. The sustainability of our organization afford the households that we serve the ability to tap into homeownership, because we know that the housing market over the years has been somewhat of a roller coaster ride, and the low to moderate income households seems to be the ones who are least likely able to attain homeownership as one of their dreams. We cultivate an environment that builds equality and pride. We do not discriminate. And our organization is very transparent and true to our mission. Currently, our housing program consists of 110 properties. We have 96 owner-occupied units, 1 resale. Some may say, what is a resale? We currently have, most recently, had a homeowner that wanted to move into bigger and better. So we have to be in the position to buy back that home to keep it affordable for the next income qualified home buyer. So that's our resale. We have 1 lot that's pending permitting, 3 vacant lots not yet developed, We have 9 owned rental units, and we manage 47 rental units that are owned by the CRA. As of the Florida Housing Coalition conference that they had in August of this year, there are currently 32 COTs just in the state of Florida. There are 11 established and 21 newly formed. The Palm Beach County Community Land Trust was incorporated, I believe, in 1997, and we were in 1996, but I think we got the first houses up and going prior to that. For the outcomes and outputs for the past fiscal period, we did okay. The areas that we fell behind was where for the new development of single-family units and the execution of purchase and sales contracts. This past year, we really wanted to add additional rental units to our portfolio. So we utilized the restricted funds that we received from the Correals project, and we added 3 new rental units to our program. Historically, I wanted to show you the percentages that were awarded us over the years and how we have diligently tiered down that. We work hard to generate as much revenue as we can on our own, and that's primarily generated from the rental units. So for the 2024-2025, we requested 22% of our annual budget. And we, the organization, extend a great gratitude of attitude to the CRA, in addition to the city, for their ongoing support so that we can provide these services to the households we serve. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Any questions from the commission? Thank you very much, everyone. Great work.
Thank you.
We have the Spady. It's up there. There you are. Charlene?
Come up. It's a little bit slower. I'm sorry. Good afternoon. I am Charlene Farrington, and I'm the Executive Director of the Spady Cultural Heritage Museum, a nonprofit Black History Museum and Cultural Center. The museum and Cultural Center operate from 2 historic structures owned by the City of Delray Beach and are located at 154 and 170 Northwest 5th Avenue. The board and staff of the Spady Museum is very grateful to the City of Delray Beach and to the Delray Beach CRA for your solid support and partnership over the past 27 years. And we look forward to at least 127 more. What did we do last year? We were pleased to plan and participate in 14 special events and activities, and I will review these quickly with you. In August through December, we hosted the Thresholds exhibition that featured African artifacts and 3 exhibit programs that went with that exhibit. Back. I apologize. I'm looking for the slideshow in the. Okay, so it doesn't come up. That's okay. I can talk. In October and November, we hosted screenings of a film called Crossing Overtown at Old School Square and at FAU. Also in October, we hosted Mr. R.L. Lewis, a Florida highwayman. Looking for it? Okay, I'll keep talking. In November, staff member Edward Stinson gave a TEDx talk about the Black experience in America during the 1920s through the 1950s, the time period that Mr. Spady was in Delray. I see you got it.
Does it have sound?
Huh? No, there's no sound. I tried to start it. I'm going to stop doing that. Thank you. So that is the Threshold exhibition slide. Is it moving? Okay, there we go. That is the screening of Crossing Overtown at Old School Square, and we also did one at FAU. That's Mr. R.L. Lewis, a Florida Highwayman. He did live painting for an audience in November. Staff member Edward Stinson, like I said, gave a TEDx talk about the Black experience in the 1920s through 50s. That's when Mr. Spady was here. In December, as always, we hosted the first day of Kwanzaa, which celebrates the principle of unity. In January, we hosted Delray Beach's Martin Luther King Jr. Brunch, a national holiday recognizing Dr. King's legacy in America. Also, in January through March, we hosted the Invisible Nepantla exhibition, which featured the art of Candy G. Lopez. There were 3 exhibit programs during that time frame. From February to September, we hosted the Stories from the Set exhibition, which is personal stories told by Delray Beach residents. We helped with multiple exhibit programs with this exhibit. In February, we hosted the Youth Art Awareness Festival in honor of Black History Month. The theme last year was African Americans in the Arts. Also in February, we participated in the Cornell Museum's exhibit called Reimagining Palm Beach County. April through July, we hosted the Ain't No Limits exhibition, which featured the art of local Black artists. We had 5 exhibit programs along with that exhibit. In May, we presented a book signing of a Delray Beach author who wrote about authentic Bahamian American cultural experiences. Also in May, we celebrated Florida's Emancipation Day by hosting a Delray Beach Family Affair, which is a family reunion styled event. And then in June, we celebrated Juneteenth, the national emancipation holiday, recognizing emancipation in Florida from slavery with food and live music. The programs and activities I just reviewed, with the exception of the TEDx talk, are activities that were planned and hosted by our team and were funded in part by the CRA grant. I put the TEDx talk in there because, we were really proud of Edward and the work that he did with that. The earned income from these programs constituted 8% of our income last year. These programs, along with the other activities we host, brought a little more than 3,400 people to our site last year. That is a 12% increase over the year before. Keeping in mind our museum is not in an area where there are other attractions or high foot traffic, we attribute the increase to strong marketing efforts as well as multiple collaborations. Our visitors are drawn to our site for specific reasons, and we appreciate referrals from our sister sites around Delray Beach. Speaking of referrals in our sister sites, we are pleased to know that the school district has appropriated more school field trip monies, so our in-school youth field trip traffic has increased. We've provided 8 tours for schools last year, and we were underway with school field trips this year, and then Hurricane Milton felt the need to make an appearance. So what's the plan for this year? We have 4 exhibitions planned for this year. Inside Outside is up now. It's going to be in the museum building. It's an art exhibition about our struggles with society and with culture. The story of Ozzie Youngblood, Delray Beach's first Black city commissioner, will be on display in the Williams Cottage. In honor of Black History Month and in keeping with the theme for Black History Month 2025, which is African Americans in Labor, we were going to build a portable exhibit, and it's going to be called Black Jobs. Our final exhibition for this year will be Waterworks, and will incorporate several stories of the African diaspora in America, local and national, and their relationships with water. Of course, we will continue our year-round activities, which are museum walking and bus tours, and maintaining the Spady Black Archive. We will continue to celebrate national holidays, Kwanzaa, Black History Month, Emancipation from Slavery, both in Florida and in Texas. I'm almost done.
Go ahead.
Right there. Our newest youth program is called Black History Study Palm Beach County. It is open to all middle and high school aged youth. It's a 10-month culturally immersive Black History Study program that includes classes taught by certified teachers, field trips to Palm Beach County cultural venues, and workshops with teaching artists. Finally, we will continue to schedule bookings, panel discussions, community forums, and staff will continue to be available for speaking engagements and special projects. We're celebrating 100 years in 2026. Woo, woo, woo. We have parties planned. We've already started with the partying. You'll hear more about that. And our CRA budget for the year, pretty basic and straightforward. Thank you so much for everything you do for the city of Delray Beach and for the Spady Museum.
Thank you very much. Any questions? And good luck with this 100th anniversary program you have at the moment to raise additional funds and things. It's a great program. I'm looking forward to going over there and seeing everything.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing you all.
Delray Beach Public Library.
If I beg, could I get you to advance the slides for me?
Well, yeah, the last time you were here, you had a technological challenge.
Yes.
Yes, I remember.
That's why, please.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I forgot my paper. Okay. Good afternoon, members of the commission, mayor, council, members of the CRA. My name is Michael Banta. I'm the executive director of the Delray Beach Public Library. I've been with the library for 30 years, and there have been many changes over those 3 decades. The digital and streaming revolutions, of course, the advent of internet and software resources, perhaps the most surprisingly, the development of library outreach into the community, doing programs in remote locations, remote venues, taking the library increasingly out into the community. In this presentation, I'll show you the value our library has to our city and to the people of Delray Beach. I will also talk about the crucial community partnership the library has had with the Community Redevelopment Agency, the CRA, since 2008, 16 years. It's a partnership that grows ever more critical to the library's quality of service as the years pass. The library is an essential service, like every free public library is to every community. The library is essential to the well-being of the city. The benefits are long-term, providing our citizens in every generation with a guided path forward to better lives. As this slide indicates, I lost my place. We inspire people toward happy and enriched lives. And we provide an essential, one-of-a-kind link between people and valuable resources. A free public library, our materials, our services, our professional expertise, our help, it is all free to anyone that comes through our doors. This means that our library patrons, after counting all materials checked out, all databases used, all programs attended, and all tech classes taught, are given savings of approximately $3 million annually had they been charged for those services. As for qualifying numbers specific for the CRA funding, over the course of our 16-year partnership, the CRA has funded approximately 10,000 programs, which entertained, enriched, and educated over 80,000 adults, young adults, and children. Again, these are services that are free to library patrons, but that doesn't mean that they are free if you were to go anywhere else. The savings for our patrons have been, over these 16 years, approximately $4.5 million in services received. And again, this is strictly for those programs which fall under the parameters of CRA funding. Next slide, please. That works so well, thank you. We collected over 172,000 materials last year, and nearly 271,000 people came through our doors. People came to our reference desk for help, 66,862, oops. We have 33 public computers throughout the building, resulting in 24,429 logins last year, and 55,728 unique connected devices using our Wi-Fi last year. Slide 3. That's slide 3, that's 5. There you go. We have over 136 items in our physical collection and well over 1 million items in our digital and streaming collection. Slide 4. Last year, overall, the library hosted 850-plus programs for adults, children, and teens, with an overall attendance of 15,700-plus. Our 7-week Stream into Summer program alone hosted 118 programs, wherein we gave away 1,440 books across 118 programs. Slide 5. Thank you. So, what's coming up next year regarding CRA funding for Sundays and Mondays? This is a sampling of some of my favorites. Learn to use our databases, classes designed to teach our educational and language databases such as Mango, BrainFuse, and Gale courses. Kindergarten Readiness Outreach is held in Catherine Stong Park for ages 3 to 5 on Mondays. They are also very popular and always well attended by parents and kids. Our community concert Sundays continues with our musical programs, which are selling out nearly every program. And we are continuing, of course, our TTIL programming, Technology Training and Instruction Lab, which supplies a much-needed technology training for the community. Last slide, 6. Thanks. And so to our budget request. This year, we're not asking for any increase. We're asking for the same amount we had last year. We're asking for $418,000 for Program A and $25,000 for Program B, TTIL, for a grand total of $443,000. This would be a good time for me to talk a minute about how critical this funding is to the library, and always has been since the first year of funding in 2008. CRA funding represents approximately 20% of our annual budget. And that's the reason we're so grateful, is that without this funding, for starters, we could not remain open on weekends, nor could we be able to sustain evening hours. This would seriously reduce the quality of service to our community. And it is this commitment to quality of service and quality of life that so binds our two organizations, that creates the resonance and simpatico between us, which makes us perfect community partners. For there's no better way to ensure and sustain a future free of blight and unhappiness than through the portal and path provided by a free public library. What secures for us a path forward where we can reach our greatest potential? It's access to information, exposure to culture, all cultures, and the universe of ideas. These are the things which open up a universe of possibilities for every person. Quality, reliable information is the core, and information is our business. Thank you for 16 years of critical funding. I love the CRA. And thank you for your time and for listening to me today.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow morning at 7:30.
Absolutely.
Item 9B. Renee, are you going to present 9B or
Yeah, well, Christine will be. We'll
Christine?
together,
Okay.
yes.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. So the item before you is a discussion related to our construction project of a commercial building located at 95 Southwest 5th Avenue. So currently the building is under construction and it's slated to be finished winter 2024-2025. So hopefully within the next few months we'll be wrapping up this project, and this is why it's before you at this time, is to discuss potential tenants to actually lease out the space and finish it out because it is built out to be just a shell. So the selected tenants will be tasked with building out the interior spaces to fit their own business needs and aesthetic needs. The common areas of the building will be finished, so the CRA will have a lobby finished, the elevator, and all the utilities will be ready for the tenant connections to the main panel and everything. So the building is the site is about 7,000 square feet. The first floor has one tenant space and the first floor is about 2,200 square feet, with the second floor having two tenant spaces. It's about 4,800 square feet. The project does signify an important step towards creating affordable commercial rental space in the Southwest 5th Avenue area. It is a continuation of our redevelopment plan for the historic Northwest Southwest 5th Avenue. This we consider the mirror kind of building to 98 Northwest 5th Avenue that was completed last summer. So this is just the layout of the spaces. So you'll see the entrance is actually off of Southwest First Avenue. The tenant space that is on the first floor has the main entrance off of Fifth Avenue. And then there is a parking area that is covered on the first floor, and then the internal elevator that leads to the 2 tenant spaces. We did put out a survey, and we've had comment cards and the survey available at our various CRA socials and different outreach events that we've done over the year, and we collected responses. And we've separated out the respondents from those who live or do business within the CRA district, and then overall anybody who's just decided to provide us a response. And the breakdown of the percentages are pretty similar. So we'll just talk about those that live in the CRA district or do business within the CRA district. Of those respondents, 34% said they wanted to see general retail uses, which we had included as clothing stores, barbershops, beauty supply, beauty services. 17% wanted business and or professional uses, which we included as realty services, accounting, tax preparation services, legal services, architectural services, etc. 13% would want to see medical uses, optometrist, audiologist, those types of medical professionals. 4% would want to see pet services, which we gave an example as grooming services. 25% said they wanted a cafe, which we included as coffee shop. And we got these examples from the City of Delray Beach land development regulations as the types of businesses that would fall into those types of uses. And the next step that is related to this building that we have to discuss is currently the approvals for the architectural design and the building include a mural near the front entrance on Southwest First Street. The mural that's been included and you've seen with the renderings is just a placeholder. It's actually a snippet from the gateway art that's just placed on the building. So we do need to put out a call for artists. That the intent of the CRA staff is to put out a call for artists, for local artists to develop a mural design that resonates with the community and incorporates the history of the immediate area and neighborhood within the building is located. So what's before you today is a discussion on what types of businesses and tenants would the CRA board like to see in the building, given the outreach that staff has done and the responses that have been collected from the survey, and provide input on the mural design to be placed on the south wall on the building. I turn it over to the board.
Great, thank you very much. To the board, Mr. Long.
It seems like the consensus is general retail. I'd certainly support that. Maybe some of the conversations we had in the last meeting could help inform, some of the things we're talking about. I mean, could a credit union fit in this building? I mean,
It's a good idea.
seriously. I mean,
I can add something too, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
So our thought was we could incorporate this with, if we have a commercial, like a realtor helping us.
Yeah.
Because just as an add-on for medical uses, there was a chamber call, like their first Friday call a couple weeks ago, and there was somebody there from a hospital, and they messaged me directly after, like, hey, we might be interested in the whole building. Oh. So I think we could maybe combine it, if we do want to have medical or whatever it may be. But this one, I think we need to find someone who will kind of take
the whole thing over.
Yeah, to manage the
okay.
building but yeah, if a hospital wants to use this as like a satellite location, I think it'd be great. So just as to add into that, we've had that contact, which is good.
I think that could very much work there too. It's a great idea.
Great. Mr. Marker.
I just have a question on the mural. So what's the process work? Do you go out to the local artists and have them submit some renderings, and then the community gets to weigh in a little bit? And
So it's similar to a solicitation that we put out. So there's parameters that we put out in terms of the type of artist we want to see and the type of mural design that we want to see or what's incorporated in the mural. And then everything would be brought before the board before it's actually put out for approval. Okay. So it's going through a similar process to that. And we would develop that alongside the community and, of course, the board.
Makes sense.
Would it be too constrictive to limit it to like a Delray-based artist? I'd love to have something reflective of the community, you know.
We can. I think, you know, there was like, I heard about maybe putting frogs there or something
Yeah.
close to.
Took it out of my mouth.
Sorry.
She took it out. That's the beginning of Frog Alley,
beginning
and
of
I
Frog
think it
Alley,
should
yeah.
have some sort of frog. I don't care how, but yes, and then a frog that looks like a frog, and not a person.
So not Kermit the Frog.
Like,
Yeah, that's
Right. Well, no, the Libby Wesley Plaza has a frog, but I had to go back and look at it and turn my head sideways to see that it was actually a frog. So, you know, I just think that, you know, for me, that is the beginning of Frog Alley, that First Avenue, and that mural should incorporate what that neighborhood represents. So some frog that we recognize as a frog.
yes.
Commissioner Costello.
And then, well, let
Oh,
me
you're
finish.
finished, I'm sorry.
You know, I was coming
You were
in
taking
on,
a breath, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was
breathed.
coming
Okay,
in on Rob's conversation. However, I do support the community, the immediate community. It would love to have a medical facility there, so some sort of health center. And I love the idea of the hospital. I'm glad they called, so I support a health center, medical center. However,
That would be great.
yes. Okay, now I'm done.
Okay, Commissioner Costello.
Yeah, and I would agree, especially if someone's willing to take over the entire building. That makes it so much easier for us. So that's great. I'm not an artist. I think everybody knows that. And I think that gateway looks beautiful on the building. Could we put a frog on the gateway? I mean, it looks beautiful just like that. So I don't have a great deal of input with respect to the art, but yeah, I think first and foremost, try to figure out if you can fill that whole facility. If not, then we need to have the conversation about what belongs in there. And obviously retail, but I think sometimes it's what you can get. So you may have the best intention of getting certain things, but you really just have to kind of take what you can get. And so I guess I would say the first step is figure out if the medical facility is interested, and if not, then we need to figure out who would be interested. It's a lovely building.
Thank you.
Very good work to our CRA. Very
you.
impressive.
I agree. I also agree that we should utilize the local artist, and I certainly agree that the theme of the mural should be the area that it represents. So I think that's a good idea. If you can get the medical, that would be great. But you know I want you to keep to your mission about creating small retail spaces for a lot of new businesses to have the opportunity to operate in smaller spaces that they can afford. But obviously, if you can get a medical thing there, that's a great hit. That would be a great win. So, do we need a motion to?
Well, I just had a comment on the Delray Beach artist. Could we open it up further than that though? And I say that because I don't know if maybe there's some artist who left Delray, who's from Delray. I just don't know who's out there unless we know of muralists on this large of a scale. Yeah. Unless we know we have a pool. That's all. I just don't know if we restrict ourselves.
I think you should have that
now.
flexibility.
That's fine. Yeah, that's why I asked if it was too restrictive. I don't want to be like,
yeah, I'm not sure. Or we could do some surveying to see if there are any, because it could be maybe somewhere else in Palm Beach County, but they had a connection to Delray.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's just a suggestion. Or we can start Delray. If we don't get anywhere, we can open it up.
However you want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you work with the art board at all?
Well, this will have to go in front of the
We'll have to go to front of the art
Okay,
board, right? But
okay.
before that, we would do a call for artists, and that's where we'll have to say we have to incorporate the frogs, the set plan, and elements from there. But we can restrict it and say we only want an artist from Delray Beach, or we can start more broadly, which
Or just even if it's just people who have done other murals in
Right.
Delray Beach.
Okay.
We got those down of murals here and great artists that have
We
done
got some
them.
great murals.
yeah.
Yeah,
There are, and I know some
with
that
the
are in
connection
Palm
to the
Beach.
city is
right.
really the main point. You know, I don't want to be too restrictive, so
Right.
we'll give you. I'm fine giving you carte blanche to kind of
Okay.
expand beyond.
We want that as well. I know there's some artists or two that aren't living in Delray, but they've done murals in Delray. So that's
Yeah.
why I don't want to exclude them just because they're not physically in our city currently. So we can add something in there with the Delray thing. So
We don't
got
really
it.
need an emotion. You just needed guidance, which you just got.
Yes, we got it. That's all we needed.
Perfect.
Yes.
Can we do one thing before we move
Yeah.
on, Mayor? To the A-Guide applicants in the audience, but for the Community Land Trust. We did talk recently at the commission meeting, because as many of you know, the commission, the city will be taking over the A-Guide program in the next fiscal year. And we're going to talk about it, I believe, in November. how we're moving forward. But all of you should be mindful of the fact that we will be discussing that, but we want to get that done sooner rather than later, and just be paying attention to make sure we're on target, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Redevelopment Advisory Committee.
Yes. Okay, so we had our first redevelopment advisory committee on October 7th, and we do have our chair who can come up and share some of the comments based on our RAC guidelines. The chair presents findings to the board. For this first meeting, it was a very broad meeting. They didn't have specific reports to prepare, so we actually do have minutes that we can share with the board on the comments, and the chair can add anything else as well. But we do have the minutes here that they basically were talking about development ideas for West Atlantic Avenue. And some of the things are similar to what we've heard before. We had, just hit here, like entertainment facilities, housing, commercial, but we'll have a full report later on. But this was just kind of like a preliminary meeting, and I can let our chair come up and share any other comments she'd like to from the meeting.
Good afternoon. I caught the latter part of the report from the CRA, and
If you could put your name for the record, please.
Oh, I apologize.
That's fine.
My name is Angela Hill. I am a taxpayer in Delray Beach, Florida, 1101 Northwest 3rd Terrace. And as Renee just said, a lot of the conversations, or should I say the brainstorming in our first collective meeting was very resemblant of what direction they were headed in. Some of the key things that were brought up, though, I was surprised that we got so much input from our youth, our younger, ages 22 to about 40, 38, 40. And a lot of them spoke on the facts of having an outlet mall retail, but moreover than that, there's not a lot for them to do. So when it comes to them being professionals in this area, such as educators, firefighters, a lot of them are not attracted to Delray from the standpoint of there's not a lot of things for them to do in the evening time, such as they have the escape rooms, they have the affordable activities. There's not a lot of interactive things for them to do other than bar hop. So a lot of things that came up was different things to engage that age group. So aside from the continuous rhetoric of having medical, having a pharmacy, having a outlet mall and or some type of brick and mortar from a retail standpoint, the most I guess standout was that we didn't have a lot. So when the CRA was speaking on the containers, we thought that would be a great area if we could have an area where you could read books, where you would attract and have that age group be able to come out and have tea, coffee. So if that looks like, not necessarily a Starbucks, but something along the lines where you could get, whether it be a breakfast shake, smoothie, and or tea, hang out and sit and gather the fresh air, but something that would bring everyone together of all age groups where we could sit out and admire the beauty of Delray. There's a lot of beauty, but something that we want to keep in mind and what we're working on as we have these meetings with our area, our neighborhoods, we want to hone in on more things that would keep and attract that age group. We have a lot of professionals, and they shouldn't have to go to Miami or Fort Lauderdale in an effort to engage or interact. So those were some key things that were discussed for our first meeting. Very excited, though, because there's a lot of feedback coming from our neighborhoods, and I look forward to giving you guys another update.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the commission? For the board?
No, but I would say that's a very exciting conversation. I was just asking Renee recently, where are we at with that container space? And to the conversation prior, it's going to add the options for people to start small businesses in that space that will be affordable, but also a gathering place, which is very exciting. So thank you.
Agreed.
Sounds like you had a productive first meeting.
And it was. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andy.
You're welcome.
Other business. You have any other business you want to bring up?
Well, just our FRA conference was last week, so thank you.
Oh, yes, the president, our new president
Yes.
of the Florida
Congratulations.
Redevelopment.
Thank you. Yes. Yay, Del Rey. Thank you. So, yes, I was voted as president of the Florida Redevelopment Association at the meeting last week. So very excited about that. The next conference is actually in West Palm Beach, so we'll be in our backyard. Yes, so it's October 14th through 17th, 2025 at the Hilton. So yes, everyone should attend. Yes, hopefully we can all make it there. I would like to have a tour down in Del Rey, though. They do like a mobile bus tour and the first day of the conference, so that's something definitely putting forward. But really excited for the year to come. The FRA is a great organization, so I'm happy to be the president now. So, and our vice chair, Angela Burns, was at the conference as well. We had a good time, good session. So thank you for joining. And next year, I look forward to everyone driving up to West Palm and hanging out with us.
Well done, and well done to your staff and everybody who did really
Thank you.
put forth a great effort and got
Yes,
you're there.
We made it. Yes, we did it. Very, very exciting.
Well deserved.
Yes,
Well
thank
deserved.
you. Just some other things here. The warehouse market at Arts Warehouse, we have a small market every year. Sometimes we do it twice a year, but this time we're doing it on October 16th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We have a lot of local crafters and different makers coming to sell things. It's an awesome time. We have some entertainment there too. So please come and check this out. We didn't have the Green Market, but Green Market's back on, yay. So that'll be every Saturday. So please also come and join us there as well. And that's all I have.
Love
Thank
my
you.
fresh eggs. Comments by the executive director? Was that it?
That's it, yes.
Very good. Comments by the board attorney?
My comment's very positive, and that is I have no comment.
That's great. Comments by commissioners? We could start with Ms. Commissioner Casal.
No comments, just another congratulations, Renee. Well deserved for you and your entire team.
Commissioner Burns.
No comment other than it was a great conference that we had, and to say that Delray doesn't have a lot of land left, but we are ahead of the game as compared to other cities. They're just starting to do some of the things that we are or have already done. But it's still great to see that other cities are concerned with providing quality, affordable housing for their residents, and how they're working together with different organizations and corporate to make it happen for their city. So it was very exciting.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Marker.
Yeah, congratulations again. That's a huge accomplishment for you, and it reflects really positively on our great city. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
No further comments.
Commissioner Long.
So last year, Commissioner Burns and I went to an FRA thing in Tampa, and we got to learn about Renee's street cred around the state. I was really impressive. We heard a lot of things, and so this is just really cool. Thank you for being an asset to our city and bringing your incredible sterling reputation here. It makes us look good by extension, which is all I really care about.
Important things.
It's just, how does it reflect on me?
Campaign literature starts.
No, I can already, it's a
can
bullet
put that
point on
out
my
there.
palm card. I'm already doing it. I'm responsible. I claim that.
It was all you.
I obviously. But no, I want to thank our new RAC chair as well. It's really cool to hear. We don't often hear from the perspective of that age group, and I think it's critical that as we're planning things that we're considering the next generation. I can't believe I'm saying the next generation already. Jesus. Anyway, that's all I have. Just wanted to congratulate again.
thank
Great
you.
meeting. Thanks.
I don't have any comments. Congratulations.
Thank
Really
you
a
very
job well
much.
done.
Thank
And
you.
I enjoyed the meeting today, and I was very happy to hear from all of the A-Guide people because they do such great work in this city, and it's very important that they get acknowledged and recognized, and we really appreciate everything that you all do.